Hey folks, Dave here at Thunder Mesa Studio, and today I want to talk to you about a brand new product from Crescent Creek Models called Scale Stucco. Realistic stucco finishes have often been a bit of a challenge to recreate in miniature. Modelers have come up with their own ways of doing it. Some have used plaster, some use thin joint compound. But what this Scale Stucco is, it's a thick-bodied acrylic modeling paste. So it cleans up with soap and water. It's non-toxic. Just open up this 2-ounce jar here. Have a look at it. There it is. And I've got this little southwestern building here on the workbench. And I'm just going to show you how it goes on. Get a little bit here. This dish. Not thinning it or anything. Just taking a cheap craft brush. And I'm just going to stipple it on like this. Thin coat. See how it's creating that stucco texture already. Nice thing about it too is that if you have any imperfections in places like these corners, you can fill the gaps with it. Just be careful not to fill up actual detail you want to leave open. Now, if you live in a dry climate like I do, this stuff dries really fast, so it just starts to set up on you. Just dip the brush in the water, thin it out. You can also use matte medium to thin it, just like acrylic paint. Okay, now that we got a good first coat on there, we'll set that aside to dry for a few minutes. It won't take long. Okay, we've let that dry for about 15 minutes. And you can see it's got this nice white texture all over it. Problem is the texture is a little bit too pronounced, particularly for HO scale. So the trick now is you take a sanding block like this and you go back and sand the high spots off, just like that. All the way around. And that gives it that nice, realistic stucco wall finish. If you get a little extra in door and window openings, it's easy to take a hobby knife and just go through, chip it out like that, so your door and window castings or assemblies will still fit. Using about a 300 grit sandpaper here. Now to paint this, I've just mixed up some inexpensive craft acrylics here. Nice neutral adobe color. Just gonna brush it right on. Most stucco buildings are painted some variation of white or off-white or pinkish white. The only mistake would be to make the color a little bit too strong. It should be pretty neutral, pretty light. You can also tint Scale Stucco with acrylic colors if you want. So you can mix up a batch that's already adobe colored like this. Save yourself a step with painting. I actually enjoy painting, so I don't mind. Okay. After painting, I'm going to have a structure that looks like this. Nice stucco texture. Put a different stripe of color down around the bottom because that's something I've often seen on southwestern buildings like this. In this case, it's a gas station, so it's got that green down there. A couple other things about the scale stucco I should mention. Always make sure you put the cap back on good and tight so it doesn't dry out. Just take out what you need to use at the time. For this project, I used probably, look at that, this is a brand new jar. I used probably a quarter of a teaspoon at the most. So this 2-ounce jar will last you a good long time. If it does start to get a little crusty or dry, just add some matte medium to it. Mix it up, and that should extend the life of it. Anyway, this is a great product, Scale Stucco. It's available on the Thunder Mesa Studio website or at crescentcreekmodels.com. Shipping now. Thanks for tuning in. This is Dave from Thunder Mesa Studio. Adios for now.